How's this volume? Am I higher? Okay. How can I get out of this? I thought to myself as I sat alone in my apartment. It was my first year at Brooks, and all I wanted to do was sit and watch the next episode of Breaking Bad. I was living by myself, and I had binged 4 episodes the night before, including 4 days out, when Walt and Jesse are stranded in their RV in the desert. It was just getting good. Anyway, I button up my shirt and I tie my tie tightly after being in the gym for my afternoon activity, and I was ready for seated dinner. Yeah, we used to have seated dinner every week. It directly followed afternoon activities, and you had to take the world's quickest shower and get back into chapel dress. I take 2 steps toward the door, and the thought pops into my head. What if I just skip today? The students at my table might notice, but will anyone else? Is Mr. Packard gonna know? Will there be any repercussions? Nah, I think it'll be fine. So I sink down onto the couch, turn on Netflix, and loosen my tie up comfortably. I don't know if I can pinpoint a relationship that I made with a student in my first year or 2 at Brooks that I would describe as meaningful. I didn't go to Boohoo Chapel my first year because I didn't know any of the seniors. Frankly, I wasn't thrilled about being here in the first place. I dreaded class, I dreaded duty, I dreaded afternoon activities, and life was about to change a lot. I was about to have my first child at 26 years old with my ex-girlfriend who lived in a different state. I was here because I needed a place to live with my baby that wasn't my buddy Smitty's place in East Boston. That's where I was living before I came here, and I don't think Smitty was interested in co-parenting with me. To say that I was not ready for parenthood is a grave understatement. I had never even held a baby before. So, as I was simply trying to keep my head above water my first year, I missed everything. I did not go to one football game to see that future NFL tight end play. I did not go to a single theater performance. I could not have told you where the Lehman Gallery was, and I did not watch any senior speeches. In fact, I skipped almost every chapel and literally every single school meeting. I was like the polar opposite of Mr. Jacobo. And I felt alone and unfulfilled. I didn't really see myself as part of this community, and I certainly didn't feel needed here. Students would ask me, Mr. Moccia, were you at chapel? The speech was so good. Or Mr. Moccia, did you go to the play last night? I would lie and I would go, yes. I would go, that was incredible. And then I would change the subject as quickly as possible because I was a fraud. No wonder I did not feel close to anyone. I did everything to avoid community, avoid engagement, avoid responsibility. It's not that I wasn't needed here. It's that I hadn't made myself needed. The community wasn't excluding me from anything. I was excluding myself. Luckily, I'm usually at least smart enough to surround myself with the right people. People who care and know exactly how to show it. 19th century orator Robert Ingersoll wrote, "We rise by lifting others." I've been blessed to have my growth accelerated by friends, colleagues, and students here. People who held both a belief in me and expectations for me. The people that noticed that I wasn't there during important moments and called me on it. Because of them, I know what going the extra mile looks like. I know what showing up for people looks like. And I've also seen and experienced firsthand the damage that is created when people here choose to do the bare minimum. You simply cannot build community or belonging on doing just enough. So props to the people that do show up, people that integrate themselves so much into the fabric of this place that when you think of Brooks, you immediately think of them. People like my guy Hugh over here. This guy's in plays. He's on athletic fields. He's doing singing Valentines. He's leading affinity groups, and he's at every single game supporting Brooks teams. There's a reason why he's a prefect. The only thing he can't do is beat Buggy and the boys in the Thirds alumni game. But guess what? He's going to be able to look back on the 4 years he had here and smile, knowing that he put his all into it and he lifted people up. But you don't even have to do all that. You just need to do something. You have to show up to be part of the community. If you're a day student who gets to campus 5 minutes before class starts and leaves 5 minutes after your afternoon activity, then you're doing this all wrong. You're not going to find a place here if you're always looking for the exit. If you're a boarder who shacks up in their room all weekend playing video games without going to any open houses or dances, you're going to regret the lack of connections you make here. You're going to think back on the opportunities that this place had for you, the people you could have met, the memories you could have made, and realize that there were so many more moments that you could have leaned into. Because of this place, I have been able to witness some beautiful moments, laugh a lot, and learn things I would have never known. I learned recently that you do not play horse against Jules Giordano unless you want to get your feelings hurt. Shout out Brooks girls varsity basketball and everyone who went out to support yesterday. I got to watch Ava Valiente and Connor Hendrickson put on a moving rendition of the musical The Last 5 Years. I've gotten to witness a level of strength I had never seen before in Chiara Rivera Valdez's sophomore year Wilder speech. I got to watch Micah Dixon get his first in-game dunk in his final JV basketball game of his 4-year Brooks career. And I got to set my brother-in-law Brian for a spike in the faculty-student volleyball game that smoked Callista Tagney in the face. I've been lucky enough to learn, witness, and be a part of all these moments because I showed up and I engaged. So stay for the whole play. Big thanks to the Play That Goes Wrong cast and crew for giving us the laughs we all needed. Go to the concerts and see Dave Sasanoff shred on the electric guitar. Go see a sport you know nothing about. I have probably seen 15 games. And I have absolutely no idea how someone gets a corner in field hockey, but when it happens, it's electric. Actually talk to the people during seated lunch. Otherwise, I would have never gotten to speak with Colin Worth, and I would have never learned that he somehow manages to get a concussion every time he rides an e-bike. Show up to school meeting. Props to Mr. Spells' journalism class and this year's prefects for working hard on them and making them so entertaining. And find joy in those unscripted moments and conversations. How else would I know that Victor Ha does not believe in having favorite animals? He only rates them on a usefulness scale to humans. 1 through 10. A pig is a 10. A tiger is a 1. The irony of me giving a chapel talk on engaging in the community the day before we leave for 3 weeks is not lost on me. But here is my challenge to you. When we get back from break, do at least one thing you've never done here before. Join a club or an affinity group that you've never participated in. Go watch a game in a sport you've never seen before. Talk to someone you have never spoken to. Embrace the discomfort of being at seated lunch with a bunch of people you never talked to. The mission of this school is to provide the most meaningful educational experience you'll ever have. The meaning is in the little, beautiful, unscripted moments. Seniors, you have less than 2 months to embrace these moments. Underclassmen, don't waste the time you have here. The stories of the best moments of your life won't start with, I was watching TV when. They will start with, I was there when. Thank you.